Okay, hello, of course. So I'm finally gonna be listening to the other three tracks from the Green Green album. I am gonna be doing it with color coded lyrics instead of doing it like I did for the first album where I just listened to the whole tracks and then kind of figured out like or just had my own like interpretation because I wanted to see like what exactly does the lyrics translate to and see like how it how they kind of apply or kind of how they kind of continue on the story from the other two songs and if that like is the same theme or is it going to be something different. But we're going to go ahead and start. Acai is the first one we're going to start with. I'm assuming because there's a lot of ingredients in a bowl like that, so maybe they're talking about how each of them are a quote unquote like bring something different or something new to the group in general, and that's like how they make up CORTIS as a whole is what I'm thinking. But we're just gonna go ahead and see. Okay, again like that more like the little tech like beat. Oh, okay. Oh, the change. Oh, like glitch there. Oh, there's Martin's like shout. Oh. Hey. Oh, Juhoon. I like how they continuing to add like Martin's like shout in the background of the beat. Oh. Oh wow. The laugh at the end. Okay, so not what I had thought initially. Well, it could be, I guess, in a way, like them talking about. But the crazy thing for me is like them basically saying like, oh, like donkeys, because we all know like, donkeys were obviously used as like a mode of transportation or like a mode of like trying to like deliver like things, but also like there's like that whole thing of saying like I think there's like an expression of people like saying like, what am I, like a pack mule, like basically like them. And them basically talking about how like they're always going like different places because of their job, essentially is what they're saying. But like to compare themselves to like a donkey is crazy. But like I feel like that's honestly like very valid and very true because again, being an idol is not easy. So it really does feel like at times like 1 second like you'll see them in Korea and then all of a sudden like a week after like, oh, we're going to Japan, oh, we're going to the US, oh, we're going to like somewhere else, like a different location, like completely different from Korea. So they really do like have to go wherever and kind of like it is really draining. So I like that they kind of are very like blunt and very like they don't like shy away from like how they actually feel when it comes to like writing their songs and like the experience so far. And it's crazy because they've only this is only their this is their first comeback and their second album. So like for them to like already kind of feel like that way, or like understand like that, a lot of people in the industry already feel like that as well, because again, they're just being essentially like not forced, but like they are essentially like lugged around here and there and having to like go to different places. But the whole thing of like them making like Acai like a whole like song is interesting, because they're like, oh, basically, but I guess it's also them saying like it's a source of energy or something that we all actively like and enjoy. So they're like, why not make a song about that? It's like something we all like our source of like energy that we all actively like can a go to like snack for us, or like go to like thing. So I'm like, okay, so that in mind, I was just like really curious to like how how they even like came up with the idea. And then the beat itself like makes sense with the other two songs, I would say, because it has like that little bit of like that, I don't know, like techno kind of sound like at the very beginning of it. And then obviously like again Martin's iconic shouting, like as always, like they're going off and going crazy essentially, and then the laugh at the end was really something as well. But I'm trying to think like what else like the lyrics were saying, because like again I was thinking it was gonna go in towards like the direction of like them talking about like, oh, how they're all different but they all like make up the whole that is CORTIS. So like, you know, again, an acai bowl has like different, and it obviously has like the base and like the foundation, right? Or like base, or like and I say foundation like in terms of like what you start with, and then they add like you can like build it any way you want to like different ingredients. So it could also be talking about to like the how, what's it called, how they can change and evolve, and like how nothing will be like plain essentially, or like the same as like every time whenever they do like a song. It could be that, because they did talk about like them also like making music in this song too. So yeah, it's very interesting the way that they made that song. And yeah, but we're gonna move on to the next one, and okay, so this is gonna be What's Up. This is the one I was like couldn't remember what the name of it was, which is funny, because again, you would think I would remember this because it's like something that everyone says on a day-to-day basis. But I honestly don't know where this one is gonna go, because I don't know. My mind immediately goes to like fashion, because you know when they say Dongmyeong what's up, Hongdae what's up. So I don't know if that's gonna be like similar, or like where they're, I don't know. I don't have any idea for this one at all. But yeah, we're just gonna listen. Oh. Oh, it sounds like a little bit like more kind of like grungy. Oh, it's like a... Oh. Oh. Okay, like, okay. The auto-tune. Not Gunho being mentioned again. Ah, there's the Acai. Oh, I was like, I thought it was gonna, I thought it was gonna be the end there before they picked it up again. Ooh. I liked how chill that one was in comparison to the rest of the songs. Like, granted, like it's basically the same like beat looped, except for like that one part, Martin's part where like it changes and then like it goes back into the again the same like beat. But actively, okay, so basically they're saying like again from how quickly they've blown up and how they've always been like busy now and like they're always like traveling to different places like for their schedules and stuff like that. It's basically like them talking about like how that experience is like now like and it, like I said it can be like really tiring and it's really crazy like for them being so young as they are kind of already like experiencing like that like the never ending loop of that lifestyle. But again, like this is something that they have chosen ultimately and they are like wanting to pursue. So like it's like a sacrifice that they do have to make ultimately. But you know what I mean? So it's like it's crazy like how they already like are feeling like that way even though they haven't been in the like haven't been like in the limelight for that long. But again, like I think they they themselves obviously did not expect to like blow up as quickly as they did, is what I mentioned. Like even though like in my head, like obviously I feel like a lot of us are always saying like, you know, it's inevitable because again of what label they are under and who their seniors are in the company. So obviously like all eyes end up being on them all the time, like 24/7, like 365, like from when they announced like that they were gonna debut in the group. And you know how press can be like, they as soon as like they get a hint of any like clue or anything like that, or once they like drop like when they started dropping like any of the profiles and stuff like that, they start like doing like picking up on it quickly. And that's like it just builds up that fast without you realizing or like without you having expected it to. So yeah, them kind of like talking about like essentially it's like them saying that like even like as soon as they like go outside, like even like if it's for a schedule or even if it's like their day off, essentially the second like maybe they make eye contact with someone, they can literally tell right away that that person has recognized me. Like I can't essentially go anywhere without, you know, people not knowing who I am. And that is a part of like again the lifestyle or like the choice or like the job and occupation they have decided to go. But I like that they are, you know, kind of talking about that through their music and like talking about how it is hard. It is not easy. As, like I said, especially if you're like this young as they are, which most of them are like still in their teenage years. And again, it's just hard, like 100%. Like if you're still also going to school too, having to balance that workload to like also like attending school and again missing out on like things that your friends might be doing and you kind of like, oh, I can't go, like I can't experience that. Like it's a sacrifice they have to make ultimately. But yeah, I like that they are using, again, you can tell that they're using music to kind of help them like talk about that, like those topics, or like kind of, you know, let those feelings out of, you know, having to experience like experience that, you know. But okay, we're gonna move on to Blue Lips, which I also don't know where this is gonna go. But I did see like on my TikTok feed literally like 5 seconds ago, whenever I was scrolling, or like a minute, an hour ago, I would say, when I was scrolling on it, that someone was saying that he wrote this pre-debut, or he wrote this as a trainee. And I'm just like, okay, so like I want to see like what. I don't know if that means like writing is in terms of lyrics or writing in terms of like producing the song. But either way, I'm like curious to see like what. If he ended up keeping it, if he talks about it later, like if he kept it the same, or was there like, obviously there are things that he probably would have changed from back then to like now, because you know your mindset is very different from like depending on like how young he was and when he first worked on this, like things your tastes change. And I feel like for him having like always been Martin always having been like writing from such a young age, I feel like over time like he probably gets a little bit more critical of like things that he does like or he doesn't like. So yeah, honestly I don't know where this is gonna go. Like I honestly don't know, like because when I think of like Blue Lips, I would think like maybe you're like, isn't it like you're like lacking like oxygen, or you're either like having what's it called, like hypothermia or like pneumonia or something like that, you know, like when you're like going cold essentially. So maybe that's what it's about. Oh, I hear water. Ooh.
So you swimming in the pool, thought we were going out for dinner. Made me fine tipple, made me trip, made me a fool. Your life is such a thriller.
Ooh, come on, like auto tune.
While I'm drowning and drowning, deeper and deeper. All I see is blue. I feel my body shiver. Don't wanna lose you. Holding my breath, but shit, it's getting thinner.
Oh. Oh, it's kind of like a little bit soulful. Oh.
Talking to the moon. Drips fell elusive, but what else do we got? This is what we choose. The bitter and sweet of it both intertwined.
Shot through the room. Nothing else to say, still racing life's clock. Wanna change views.
I need something else and a new why.
Blue flame getting put out. These days getting too tough. In a trap trying to sneak out.
Oh.
Every day fighting for peace side. Roll with the way like a seaside.
Chasing magic, brought my feet tired. Get to the end and then rewind.
This is what I was talking about in the last two songs. Oh, is this like the ending of it? Because that's pretty short. Wow, that was really short. Okay, wait, is there like... No, that's it. Okay, yeah, like I was not expecting it to kind of go in that direction. Like I like how the last two songs were a lot more like chiller than the rest of it. But it makes sense because if you're thinking about like Joyride and Lullaby, they are both two of the more like soothing or like chiller songs from the Color Outside the Lines like main like the first album. So I like that they ended off this album as well like with two more chiller like easy like on the ears like songs. But I will say this vibe, like I said, it's very soulful. But this definitely reminds me, like I know I had said for the Color Outside the Lines album that there were certain songs or certain like some of the like songs in there, or like maybe one or two that reminded me of Mac Miller. But no, this essentially reminds me a lot of Mac Miller, like the vibe that he like did, and just like how sometimes like it's very soothing, but also like if you like pay attention to some of the lyrics for him, like he can be very like blunt and very straight to the point. But there are like a lot more there are sometimes like or some songs that are like very like deep lyrics, but he kind of like talks in like this like in like metaphors or like certain ways, and that kind of reminds me of what the lyrics are in here. But again, like I was not expecting them to kind of where it was actually gonna go in the direction that I was talking about, like, oh, like they are young, you know, they are this is their like first time like experiencing being in the limelight and being essentially idols and being noticed in the public and having to like be wary of all that, and also like again having that exhausting schedule of like having to always be like on the move, you know, always like having to be like planning things, and like just it's very again very tiring. And the fact that he wrote this, like I don't know if he wrote these lyrics as a trainee or like now that he's already like debuted, or if the beat was like made first and that's where like they said like he wrote it. But either way, I think it expresses both time periods of like of their lives or his life, where again, because training life is not easy. I feel like you definitely sacrifice as well a lot of like things that you should be doing as a teenager or as a kid, like experiencing like that life for, you know, essentially something like that you want in the future. And again, it definitely made me like a little bit sad whenever it got to that. The one part was like, oh, like where is it? Is it Martin's part? I don't remember. Yeah, like this part, like essentially, like again, because I feel like sometimes like people forget that idols have like genuine feelings, like they are just human as well. So like they have their limits, they have like their insecurities, their pressures and everything. So like I think that in mind, and like having again all of this like pressure already on you from like other people who don't really know you, like they know you, like it does not go well in hand. So kind of like seeing like them basically essentially like admit like, oh yeah, like it's hard. It is like, oh, like we are happy, like we achieved our dream, but like out it is like there is a cost to it, and but we can't really do anything about it because like this is the path that we have chosen. So we kind of just have to kind of cope with it and just kind of like hope that everything goes well, or like, you know, kind of find a balance between the two. And again, there are highs and lows to it. So yeah, it just makes you think a lot of like again what their mindset is like from when they were like younger or like to now, like because it's crazy how much of like the songs are not necessarily like TNT or Red Red, because those songs are more so about like them like we don't care, like we are still like doing what we love, you know, and we don't care what anyone else like thinks of like our music. It matters what we think. So I like love that, but then the second like half of it, or well, not yeah, the second half of it's more a little bit more it is also deep, but it's more so deeper in the fact that again they're kind of talking about like the experience of it all and like kind of a little bit more like the darker side of it, if that makes sense. But I'm really blown away. Like I don't think for like What You Want and like the like I said for the Color Outside the Lines album, I remember essentially being like, oh, like obviously I really liked the songs on there, but I don't think since I didn't necessarily like super analyze on like or like look at the lyrics, except for whenever I watched like all of the MVs that they did and like read the lyrics at the bottom. So kind of seeing like from that like that part, like that whole like that debut album to like now is crazy to like see like a little bit of like the sound is like nothing too surprising, like it's something that I would definitely see them doing, but like in terms of like the concept or like the whole entire like lyrics and like the meanings of the songs as a whole is very like different, because I'm just like, wow, they've only been around for like not like less than a year, but they're already essentially like feeling the way like someone with like 7+ years or has been or who has been like in the industry for so long is already like has felt like definitely feels over time. So hopefully, you know, once it like it never gets easy, I feel like, but hopefully at like as the years go by and they get more of a hang on it, because again they're still new, so there are things that like they're still like very new to. Hopefully like they are able to like adjust, but also like, you know, are able to get like don't get too you know, like too like tired out or like, you know, worked up, or like, you know, because again this being an idol is never easy, like being a K-pop like in the K-pop genre at all, like because again people are very like toxic, people like to like comfort groups like about our members or anyone in general, like because you're on that, they try to put them on that pedestal again, which I don't think is, I feel like we should have gone past that by now. But you know, people are very critical of every little thing that someone does, especially if they are in the limelight. So yeah, I just hope that it like not necessarily like that it gets, I'm sure it'll probably get easier with time, but hopefully they are able to find like the balance between the two. But yeah, I really do like this song because again it reminds me of something I would listen to by Mac Miller, just because of like the vibe of it in general, and then also just the lyrics. But definitely as a whole, like I think the whole like again I like how it's very starts off very strong, and then at the end of the album it gets more they kind of like make it more serious, if that makes sense, and be like, oh, this is like more of our like our deep inner feelings. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and just keep an eye out for any more of the like behind the scenes and stuff like that, because I do need to like start watching more of like, I have watched the Cooking Red Red video at this point, but I think I might drop this first before I drop that. But and then I need to watch the rest of them, obviously, and like any other like varieties that they have been on. But anyways, I shall see you in the next one.